You know what I just realized? Tom Hanks voices the Pixar character Woody, and in this movie, he plays someone who has the same nickname as another Pixar character. I don't know, I just thought that was worth mentioning. Sully is a biographical drama directed by Clint Eastwood starring Tom Hanks that tells the story of the miracle on the Hudson. And I was looking forward to this movie because, well, it's directed by Clint Eastwood and it's starring Tom Hanks. What else do you need? Well, if you do need anything else, you can tack on the fact that the last few weeks we have gotten shit for movies. But thank God this is not one of those instances. Let's talk about a great movie. So one of the things that I actually really liked about Sully is it told the story kind of out of order. You know, a little like how Pulp Fiction did it. You know, the movie doesn't start out showing us the accident that led to Sully landing a plane into the Hudson River. No, it starts out after that incident. We see Sully and his first officer, Jeffrey Skiles, played by Aaron Eckhart, being interrogated by the National Transportation Safety Board. And since this accident happened, Sully has just been praised and embraced as this great hero who saved all of those lives. But it's right here we see that the safety board isn't entirely convinced that Sully should be praised a hero. Because we discovered that based off the safety board's investigation, they feel that Sully was actually capable of landing the plane on another airport rather than into a river. And initially they do make some good points in their argument. They're like, oh, one of the engines was not completely destroyed. It may have just been disabled momentarily. And there's also the fact that there were a couple airports not too far from your location when the accident happened. It's the stuff that the general public wouldn't really think about. It's the stuff that makes us as the audience wonder, oh, maybe he actually could have done it better. Did Sully actually take the only necessary measure to save those people? I love that the movie immediately has you thinking that way. It really gets you more engaged with it. But one thing that I also love that the movie touched on is that you see that Sully is kind of suffering some PTSD from this. There are a few moments in this movie where you see Sully having these visions or nightmares of him just crashing these planes into buildings and just killing many, many people as he does it. It really shows the effect that that kind of incident would have on someone. You know, Sully's not just gonna be all like, yep, I saved those people. I'm awesome. No, Sully's all like, oh man, what if this happened? What if that happened? What if I did this? It would frighten most people who went through that. Not to mention the fact that Sully is now dealing with the safety board, trying to pin what happened on him. They're trying to say that this whole accident was due to pilot error, and if that is the case, Sully's reputation will be tarnished and his career as a pilot will be over forever. But it's in these moments we really get to see Aaron Eckhart shine as Jeffrey Skiles. You know, he's Sully's first officer, and the whole time as Sully's contemplated, did I do the right thing? Could I have done it better? Jeffrey Skiles is all like, no man, you did the right thing. You saved those people's lives. Fuck what the safety board said, you're a hero. You know and I know that that engine was busted and there was no way we could have landed the plane anywhere else. And now it's around this point that we get to the accident that actually happened. Everyone boards the plane, they think it's just gonna be another ordinary flight, and then not even 3 minutes into the flight, the plane crashes into a flock of Canadian geese, which takes out both of the engines. So Sully and Skiles, you know, they run through all the systems on the plane, they wonder, alright, is something functioning? Is something not functioning? And they realize at this point that their engine power is gone. There are no airports near them that they can safely fly to. And with the plane now falling out of the sky, Sully radios to all of the passengers to brace for impact. And this incident right here is where the intensity of this movie just picks the fuck up, and it is insane. Sully is gonna be forced to land this plane in the Hudson in the middle of January where it is freezing outside and in the river. The flight attendants are going around to all the passengers telling them to keep their heads down and their hands up. And the whole time it just had me like, oh my god, this is insane, people are gonna die. And luckily Sully is able to land the plane into the Hudson. There are no casualties. So now with all 155 passengers safe, the goal is to now get them out of the plane. So, you know, they release those rafts that are attached to the plane in the event they do land in water. It really is funny, though, how stupid some of these passengers were, though. There's this one lady who literally, as she was getting out of the plane, she didn't even bother to get on one of these rafts. She decided to jump jump into the river itself. And even more stupidly, she wasn't even wearing her life vest right. She was like carrying it on one of her arms. I mean, it is the middle of January. That water is freezing. If you jump in there, you are going to freeze to death. And you could certainly say, well, the plane did crash into the river. That's not what anyone was expecting. So some of these people were just probably really scared and just panicked. I can certainly see that. But me personally, if I was in this situation, there's no way I wouldn't have not gotten on the raft. But what I also really like that the movie did is they're not just all like, oh, okay, he has landed the plane, everyone's safe, it's all good now. No, the movie establishes that because it is the middle of the winter and everyone is where they are, they have to get them out of there or the cold is just gonna kill everyone. Luckily though, I want to say Coast Guard shows up, they get everyone onto their boats, they even save the lady who stupidly jumped off the plane. So now at this point, everyone is officially saved, Sully is a hero, mission accomplished. So now it's towards the end of the movie and now the safety board has called upon this trial to decide whether Sully's actions were justifiable. And the safety board shows Sully all these simulations that they ran, and each one of them shows that the plane could have in fact safely made it to one of the airports. So now it's at this point you think Sully might be on the hot seat, but it's in this moment you truly see why Tom Hanks is such a great actor. He is able to play characters that are under pressure and in confrontation so well. Because it's in this moment, after these simulations have been done, he's like, nope, you're all wrong, and here's why. He points out that all these simulations have these pilots prepared of what's coming. No one was prepared for what was coming on this day. He's like, these simulations don't account for human error, for us checking all of the systems to see if anything was working. So he proposes to the safety board that they tack on an extra 35 seconds for each of these simulations, and then tell him if they make it back to the airport. The safety board feels that's fair, so they run these simulations again with an added 35 seconds, and each one ends with the plane crashing horribly and people likely dying. So now you officially think Sully might be in the clear, but to make things better, the safety board received some breaking news. They discovered that the left engine was in fact not functional whatsoever. It was completely destroyed from the impact. Best part though is seeing the look on all their faces. They're all just like, yep, he's right. We're all assholes now. I do love the way this movie ended though. One person on the safety board asks Jeff Skiles if he would have done anything differently, and he's just jokingly all like, yes, I would have. I would have done this in July. It just makes sense. If it happened in July, everything would just be so much easier. I mean, plane crashes in the Hudson, and then you got all those rafts coming out. I would not be surprised if the people just decided to use the rafts as like water slides and just chill on the plane for a while and just be like, no, we're having fun out here. Come rescue us in a couple hours. I mean, if that was me, I would have tried to have fun with that anyway. So all in all, I thought Sully was great. Tom Hanks, per usual, did a great job in this movie. I really loved how he portrayed Sully. A guy who's just being thrown under the bus for what he feels was the right thing to do, and he is fighting it to the death that it was. Aaron Eckhart did a really good job in this movie. I loved what he brought to it as Sully's first officer. I love that the movie does initially have you wondering if Sully did the right thing, or if there was in fact more he could have done. And yeah, the accident itself, seeing the plane fall out of the sky, just land in the Hudson, and all those people needing to be rescued added for some great intensity for this movie. I will say though, I did feel the ending kind of dragged on a little bit just because of the simulations they had to give. I do feel they could have shortened those up a tad. But in the end, it is crazy to see that an accident like this actually happened. And it's even crazier to see that Sully had to deal with this much criticism for rescuing all those people. The movie needed to do a great job in showing both those sides of the story, and it was able to. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.